It feels so weird to be back on camera. I'm so excited. I have a big announcement for you guys. If you follow me over on Instagram, you probably already know what my announcement is. But it's been a long time overdue. I knew if I didn't just sit down and make this video that it would never, ever get done. So we have big news. I am pregnant. I am pregnant. As you can see, I am pretty pregnant. I am about 30 weeks. I'm due in February, which is crazy. So much has changed since the last time you guys have seen me. I have just been doing a lot of life changes. Oh, here it comes where I can't talk. I've been craving like water and ice so much. So yeah, we got a couple life updates we need to do. So first things first, I've been gone for like 8 months, it feels like, which is too long. I just feel like I've been so bad at procrastinating. I'll tell you guys the whole story about my pregnancy journey, but I definitely feel like I'm just so out of it. Anytime I go to film, something doesn't work out. Like right now, my camera, my Canon G7X is taped because somehow both of the screws fell out on the picture, and then my ring light is like missing a leg. It's just, it's never easy. I'm definitely gonna need to update my filming equipment. So let me just run you through it, okay? So you guys like literally don't even know who my boyfriend is or anything. I think I mentioned him in my last video, but I have been dating my boyfriend Josh since October of last year. I actually met him in the beginning of October, and it was just one of those things. Like, sorry if I sound nasally, I am like, something's going on with my nose. I'm gonna do like a whole separate story time about us meeting and all of that. But we did meet through a mutual friend, and it was just one of those things. It was like love at first sight, at least for me. I'm sure it was for him too, because I mean, duh. But yeah, it was definitely love at first sight. As weird as that sounds, as soon as I saw him, I knew like, I need to know who this guy is because he is so cute. And we just hit it off immediately. We didn't know each other at all. I am not from here. So he had to do some investigating, some digging to find out who I am and get my, you know, social and stuff. Yeah, so he asked me to be his girlfriend like 2 weeks later after we had been dating. And he was just so sweet, such a gentleman. Definitely swept me off my feet. I was not looking for a relationship. I was not looking to be with anybody. I honestly just like was giving up hope on if I would ever be with somebody again or ever like love somebody again. I was definitely like, I'm not, you know, it's not for me. But as soon as I saw him, I just knew, okay, I found my person. Like, it was instantly. And yeah, he asked me to be his girlfriend like 2 weeks later. And then I got like really drunk on Halloween. We went to like his family's like party, and I like literally told his mom like, I'm gonna marry your son, which looking back is like so cringy because it's like this man I've literally been dating or talking to for less than a month, and the first time I meet your mom, I tell her like, I'm gonna marry your son. Like, so cringy. I was drunk. My feelings were just coming about. But yeah, thank God I didn't scare him away with that, because looking back, that is so cringy. I definitely fell head over heels for him. And yeah. So then fast forward, I'm still working at the restaurant. He's a hardworking man. Like, he works 6 days a week. He just started his own business. So he's doing really good, and I felt like I was just, you know, stuck in the same lingo, you know, being a slave for the system. I felt like not really like fulfilling my life purpose, I guess. Yeah, I was working at the restaurant, and then I'm at the restaurant and somebody tells me, like, I forgot why we were talking about birth control, but we were, and they're like, oh, you know, birth control, if you're on it for too long, it'll make you infertile. And that's like my biggest fear of life, is to become like infertile, to not be able to have kids. So he said that, and I was like, oh my God, like I've been on birth control since, you know, I was 15, 14, and then I had Oakley, and then I've been on it since. I was on the Mirena IUD, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I started like kind of freaking out, because I definitely do want more kids in the future. And then this girl at my work, she was doing like that necklace thing where like you put it over your hand and it tells you like if you're having a boy or a girl or how many kids you're gonna have in the future or whatever. And she did that to me, and it literally did a boy and then stopped. And I was like, she's like, oh, well, you already have your boy, so I guess you're done having kids. I was like, yeah, no, try it again. Like, let's do this again. Like, here you go. And it did the same thing. I was like, nope. So I literally went the next week and got my birth control taken out. I obviously told my boyfriend that I got my birth control taken out. He went with me actually to get it taken out, and I think that was in like February that I got it taken out. So yeah, once again, looking back, we had only been dating for like 3 or 4 months, and then I get my birth control taken out. But I just feel like when you know, like it was definitely like, I don't know, I'm kind of weird like that. Like it was definitely like I saw him and I was like, yes, you are going to be the father of my children. I'm going to marry you. Like, sorry, that's just how my brain works. I don't really see the point of entertaining anybody else that you don't see that with. So yeah, and obviously he was on board, but we weren't like trying to have a baby. We weren't like not trying. We weren't being responsible, I guess you could say. I was tracking my period like on one of those like period tracking apps. So I didn't know like when I was ovulating, when I was fertile, like when, if you don't want to get me pregnant, you should probably, you know. But I think it was probably like May, and I let him know, I'm like, okay, I'm ovulating and I am like fertile, like this is like a red day, so if you don't want to get me pregnant, you better, you know, get out of there. If you do, okay, cool, like I'm fine with it. I love babies. I'm fine having babies. I know I'm young, but Oakley's literally about to turn 5 in February. So I'm like, okay, you know, I'm not getting any younger. Oakley's not getting any younger. My boyfriend is only 20, but I'm 24, so he definitely was like, what made me so attracted to him is that like the thought of having kids with me or, you know, settling down like didn't scare him. It wasn't like some taboo thing where he was like, oh hell no, like we're not doing that. It was like he wanted the same things as me, so that definitely made me feel more comfortable, you know, being not responsible about it, because I definitely knew that I would be supported by him if it did happen. Yeah, I definitely let the ball be in his court on whether or not I was getting pregnant, because he has, you know, the control over if an egg gets fertilized or not. But yeah, as soon as it happened, I knew like immediately, like instantly, I knew that I was pregnant. Like it was like a weird, like, I don't know, it was some supernatural thing that I just knew immediately. I was like, yep, I just got pregnant. Like, I knew like that, like, I knew I was pregnant. And it really happened like on, I mean, like I don't know, it happened pretty quickly. I think quicker than either of us were anticipating. Yeah, we really didn't plan it out that well, but I mean, everything happens for a reason, so yeah. So I knew like pretty much immediately. I just had that feeling like when I went to work, people were like noticing, they're like, what is going on? Like you're like so happy, and you're like, you know, like you just seem like your whole vibe is just so different. And I'm like, I don't know, I think I'm pregnant. Like I was so excited like immediately. The only thing I was scared about was telling my parents. But yeah, then I like had that feeling, but I was like, okay, like maybe I'm just, you know, getting too excited, whatever. So we went to the lake, and one of like these girls, I guess it was like a family friend, comes up to us and she's like, oh, like, so when are you guys having kids? And I was just joking because we're sitting there watching Oakley play, and I was like, oh, I might be pregnant like right now, like who knows, like I'm just like, you know, putting it out into the universe. And turns out I was, like very early on, like I'm talking like days after, like but I think that was the first sign, was just like me being like so like I was floating almost, like elevated, like I just like had the, you know, mommy glow going on. So that quickly ended because literally like 2 weeks later I'm at work, and this is when I'm like, okay, like I'm like pretty sure I'm pregnant, right? So I'm like packing food, right? Like getting it like for to go order, and I'm literally like gagging at the like every food that came out, because it was like a Mexican restaurant, so like skillets and like enchilada. I'll never be able to eat there again, like never ever. I might go there for a margarita once I can drink, but as far as food goes, I'm never eating there again. Like I literally was so nauseous. I felt so sick. I was running to the bathroom every 2 minutes. Like I could not keep anything down. I would be like in like the main drink station, like getting people's drinks for them, and I would be like, you know, like I'm gonna throw up, like I'm literally gonna throw up. And my manager would literally come up to me and be like, you better not throw up here, like you better go to the back or I'll make you clean it up and like go home. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like no sympathy whatsoever for me like being sick. And I tell him, I'm like, no, like I really don't feel good, like something's like really wrong, like I'm like I don't feel good. And you know, I'm thinking I might be pregnant, and I tell him, I'm like, I like need to go home, like I really do not feel good. And he's like, yeah, no, you're not going home. And my shift was over at like 4, but we had more people coming in at 2, so they easily could have let me go home, but they made me like work the rest of my shift, and turns out I had COVID. So I was literally mistaking my pregnancy symptoms for COVID symptoms, and I went and got tested the next day and I was positive for COVID. When I say that was the worst 2 weeks of my life, I am not kidding. I didn't have like the coughing like everybody else. Mine was like unbearable nausea, indescribable heartburn, like so bad. I could not keep any food down. I couldn't get out of bed for like 2 weeks. I spent my birthday in bed because I was so sick. Like I had no energy to do anything. I couldn't eat. I got so skinny. I was like literally so bad. Like I had no energy to do anything. I couldn't keep liquids down. I couldn't drink for like 2 weeks. It was completely miserable. And then I think after that, or maybe it was before that, I don't really remember. One of those times I took a pregnancy test. I can insert the clip of my boyfriend. He's like, no, take another one, because it literally just lit up. Like immediately it said pregnant, and I was like, oh my god, like I was not expecting it. But yeah, and then I got COVID, and it was so horrible. I feel like it took me so long to like get back in the groove of things, and then I ended up like, you know, leaving my job because they were so like rude to me. That place was just toxic in general, but I just had to leave. Like they hired like a bunch of new people, and then they like moved them up like immediately to like the people that would be in charge of just regular servers. And this guy would be like, oh, I'm gonna give you like the easiest like closing work, because we would be there till like midnight. Like the restaurant would close at 9 or 10, and we'd be there till midnight, like doing like end of work, like cleaning like the entire restaurant. And we would all be assigned like different jobs. And like at this point, like I'm so nauseous, like it was just too straining on my body, like to be running around, to like be smelling food nonstop, to be dealing with people. And it was like really uncomfortable at the beginning because I felt like my stomach like came out like immediately because I've already had a kid, obviously. So it was just like a lot. And then I was just over it. Like my attitude, I was like, no, I'm not about this life. And I also kind of came to like the realization like, okay, I've been doing the same thing since I had Oakley. Like I haven't really pursued anything. I haven't really like, you know, I guess made anything because I've been so focused on like being a mom that I kind of just put my life on hold as far as like my dreams and my aspirations. Even though that's being a mom, you know, I still have other things that I'd want to do to be successful. So yeah, I was just kind of over it. And then he literally had me like cleaning, I think it was like 9 booths. Like would have to sweep the carpet underneath them and then wipe them all down, like count each sugar, like pink, yellow, blue, white. They would have to have a certain number in it. It was like so much, cleaning all the windows. And then they had me do like 10 tables in the middle. So I had like all a cantina, which is like 15 tables and like 4 booths. And then they had me cleaning like an extra 5 booths on the other side of the restaurant. And I was just like, oh, and then plate it and then roll all the silverware for every table, which is like 4 to 6 sets of silverware per table. And I had to roll it. I was like, yeah, no. I'm not doing this. And then I literally started crying. I was like, I'm not doing this. Like this effed up. They would usually put like 2 people on cantina and then the booze. But I was just so done. I just had to walk out. I was like, I'm sorry. Y'all do not pay me enough. You have me staying here 2-3 hours after it's closed, making $2 an hour. You guys don't pay me hourly to do this shit. Like, I'm sorry. I gotta go. And I just walked out. And then my manager was like, getting on to me about eating. Like he would say stuff like, oh, the baby's not on the clock, so like you can't be eating. And I'd just be like, okay, like I'm not gonna be here from 2 o'clock to midnight and not eat anything. Like I would literally be eating tortillas and they would like make you feel like you're a peasant, like you can't even be eating like a free tortilla. Like they would literally it was just like, not to mention they pay us $2 an hour, which gets taken out by taxes. So literally like you're in charge of your money, and they would act like they literally owned you. And it was just like so toxic, the entire environment. I was just like, I gotta go. Sorry. I feel like when you're pregnant, it puts it into like a different perspective just of how you're treated and the stuff that you put up with. I was like, nah, no, gotta go. Then I went to my friend's birthday party and I ran into this girl. It was actually the girl whose party that like, you know, all that stuff went down at. And I hadn't seen her since she left the restaurant. But she did offer me a job selling life insurance and I started doing that. It's been a lot of work, a lot of hours, but it definitely does pay off and I get to work from home. My license just expired, so I literally, like my temporary license has to expire, so I literally need to study. I've been procrastinating that because I'm in the middle of moving and I'm gonna get to that. So yeah, I waited to tell my parents that I was pregnant till like October because I was scared for one. I wanted to make sure that me and my boyfriend, because like we were living like separately, like I was still over here. He has his own place. I would spend the night like every night and then come home like super early in the morning. But I didn't know what their reaction would be. So I wanted to wait until like we were getting a place together and had all that set up. They really just had to ask me, like blatantly come out and ask me, because I'm the type of person like I hate like telling people stuff, like confrontation and stuff like that. So I wasn't telling them, but it was like getting pretty obvious that I was pregnant. Like it was getting kind of hard to hide. I stopped vaping, I stopped drinking. My sister's actually the one that was telling my parents like, okay, she has to be pregnant, like she stopped vaping, she doesn't drink, like something's up, like just go ask her, like we need to know. And so they did, and I was like, yeah. And then I didn't have insurance for the longest time. Like I literally just got on insurance. So that was a hassle too. That's something I procrastinated for so long, and the doctors literally were not taking me because they're like, girl, you're too far along. Like, we're not gonna take you as a new patient, because I didn't have insurance. But I did get like a gender reveal ultrasound, so we found out that it was a girl, and I was so happy. Like, I've always wanted a little girl. I'm such a girly girl, so I feel like ever since then I've been so excited. Yeah, it didn't really work out that way because it is December and now we're just now moving in together. I really didn't want everything to be rushed, but that's usually how it happens. And then of course my life insurance temporary license expired like at the end of November, like the 29th, and it's now like December 10th or something, and I'm in the middle of moving. So it's just like everything, when it rains it pours. So yeah, but I'm so excited. We're finally getting our own place. And we just got a 3-bedroom house that we are moving into, so I can bring Marshy and Oakley, and it's gonna be like T-minus 2 months until baby girl is here. So, you know, it's gonna be kind of crazy. But I do miss like my older like vlogs with Oakley and like more family style vlogs. So I'm going to try to incorporate that, and I do need to get my boyfriend on here so you guys can meet him. He is so amazing, so sweet, and I love him so much. So hopefully you guys do as well. And yeah, I feel like that's pretty much it, like up until this point. Obviously there's been a lot of stuff, you know, in between. I do have like a bunch of vlog footage because I would keep trying to vlog and it would just, my procrastination would get the best of me. So I might, like after this, just make like a collective vlog. Let me know down below if you guys want to see that. Might, you know, insight you more on what I've been up to. But I am going to be posting more consistently. Yeah, you guys probably want to know like how my parents reacted and stuff. I should say that too. They were actually a lot better this time than the last time. I think everybody's happy. So yeah, it definitely made it a lot easier. I think my initial fear of telling them was from the past. Yeah, I definitely let that like cloud my judgment because I was scared of the same reaction. But it seems like everybody's a lot more happier this time, so that's good. I was really worried about that, but again, you're your biggest, you know, critic, so you always make things out to be worse than they actually are. But everything turned out fine. I'm really excited. My boyfriend's really excited. You know, he's happy that I got a girl because I don't know what I would have done if I got another boy. I would have been like, ah! Just kidding. I love my son, but I definitely wanted a girl. I feel like every girl wants a girl. So I'm excited for the pink, the glitter, the bows, painting nails, doing her makeup. Like, I'm ready for it. I feel like God blessed me because I've been a good boy mom. Even though I'm like a super girly girl, I've been a really good boy mom. So yeah, I'm so excited, but everything's coming together, so hopefully it stays going this way. And I definitely do want to be more consistent. I am so sorry for going MIA. Just so much has been going on. Like, it's crazy, but I feel like now I'm getting to the place where I'm like, okay, I need to do this, like setting a goal for each day. Like, okay, today I'm gonna film a video, I'm gonna edit it, I'm gonna post it, like I'm gonna finish packing my room, stuff like that. So I don't know, I'm just really excited, over the moon, and I definitely want to bring you guys along with this journey with me. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one.